What is up, everybody? Welcome to The Shift on YouTube. Here, it's Francisco Rojas. Go make sure you check out our recent Cooperstown episode. We were in Cooperstown for the Baseball Hall of Fame this past weekend. It was another awesome experience. Me and Nick Earnshaw, and we had our guest Pete Inarato on for the second year in a row. Truly an awesome experience. You can hear that. Have the link to the description. And if you just subscribe and you go to our last video, our last podcast episode, that was our Cooperstown trip. So, with 2024 behind us as far as the Hall of Fame goes, congratulations to Mauer, Leland, Beltre, and Todd Helton. Let's look ahead to 2025, shall we? So I have 5 things to look forward to on next year's ballot. 5 things to look forward to. Not going to get all in depth here with the analysis as far as next year's ballot goes. We'll get to that when we get very close in the winter to the next Hall of Fame, ballot and voting and all that. So we'll get to more of that soon. But I have 5 things. I will go in order. So top 5 things here for five things to look forward to with the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in 2025. So with number 5 here, just the general first ballot guys. Honestly, just the general first ballot guys that stick out to me. You know which ones really stick out. I'll get to them in just a little bit. You know who really sticks out as far as the first ballot guys. But besides those 2 names that I'll get to in just a little bit, Dustin Pedroia, Ian Kinsler, Felix Hernandez, Troy Tulowitzki, and Curtis Granderson. Those are the 5 names that stick out to me besides the other 2 that I'll get to in just a little bit. So I'm very, very curious to see how much support they garner, because for me, man, Pedroia, one of the best second basemen of his era. Same with Ian Kinsler. He wasn't top 2, but he was definitely a top 5 second baseman of his era. Felix, one of the best pitchers of his generation, and so on. With Tulo, just a little hurt by injuries, and Curtis Granderson was one of the more exciting players I felt like to watch in the late 2000s and mid 2010s. So those 5 names stick out to me. There were a lot of other names on the ballot that were just have good careers, but probably don't really have any sort of shot at getting any type of support in the Hall of Fame. Probably drop out, not even getting 5% in the first year. But we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. Number 4, 2 of the guys that had pretty much, were very close to getting in last year, but did not get in the Hall of Fame. And that's besides somebody that I'm going to mention here in just a bit who missed by 1%, by the way. But Andruw Jones and Carlos Beltran. Andruw Jones and Carlos Beltran, 2 former great center fielders of their era. Andruw Jones, arguably the best center fielder ever as far as defense goes. So Beltran, he got 57.1% in his second year, goes from 46 to 57. Interested to see what type of progress he makes. I don't know if he gets in, but very interested to see how much progress he makes going into his 3rd year of the ballot. And then Andruw Jones, 8th year on the ballot, got 61.6% in his, his seventh year? 7th year? I think he's going into his 8th. So, interested to see how much support Jones gets. I don't know if he gets in this year, but maybe he's a 9th, 10th year type of guy. He was really, really an incredible player. Very good offensively, amazing defensively. So very, very interested to see with Jones and Beltran as they continue on the ballot. So that's number 4. Number 3, alluded to this guy in the 5th thing that I'm looking forward to with the first ballot guys. Ichiro. Ichiro is obviously a Hall of Famer. He's going to get in, and probably a 99% chance he is a first ballot Hall of Famer, probably a 99.9% chance, but was just reading a MLB.com article looking ahead to the 2025 ballot by David Adler, and he mentions it's not about being a first ballot. We all know that. Most likely, again, first ballot. But is it going to be the second player ever to be unanimous? Is it going to be the second ever? You know, Mo Rivera, the only one. A lot more that probably should have been unanimous. It doesn't make sense. Hall of Fame doesn't make sense sometimes. But with Ichiro, it's more about, can he be the second unanimous guy? Superstar, icon, incrediable career, all of that stuff Ichiro was. So very interested to see if he can be the second ever unanimous Hall of Famer in their first year. So Ichiro, that's number 3. Interested to see what happens with him on his first ballot. Number 2, and I know it's a little bit different here because this name I'm going to mention here isn't as big as Ichiro, but he was definitely right there. CC Sabathia. I'm interested to see how much support he's going to get for sure in his first year. But Joe Mauer, to me, you can watch my Joe Mauer Hall of Fame video. I will put the link to that in the description box. Did that, a little bit before the last Hall of Fame results came out. Joe Mauer got in first ballot. CC Sabathia, I don't believe he should be. I mean, he's, to me, I'm not going to get too much in depth, but I'm very curious to see if he can be another first ballot guy. Could be another first ballot guy. Maybe we'll have to do a Cooperstown case on him. He might be somebody I might have to do. Might be somebody. I'm curious to see how much support CC Sabathia gets. I'm very curious. You can let me know your thoughts too on Twitter @Rojas_media. How much support does CC Sabathia get? Very curious. Number 1, the number 1 thing that I'm looking forward to on next year's ballot. Billy Wagner. It's the obvious one because 74% on last year's ballot. Well, 73.8 if you want to be technical. But 74% on this year's or last year's ballot. Can he get in? Can he get in? Can he be one of, he'd be like the, 6th or 7th closer to ever get in, somewhere in that. And Trevor Hoffman was the last, I believe, in the late 2010s. So can Billy Wagner be the first since Trevor Hoffman? And can he get on his 10th and final year? Nothing more to that. Really interested to see, because Wagner has slowly gotten more support over the years and potentially 1% away. 1% away. Okay, so Wagner, very interesting one to me. But let me know your thoughts. What are you looking forward to on next year's Hall of Fame ballot? What are you really looking at for next year's Major League Baseball Hall of Fame class? Let me know your thoughts on Twitter @Rojas_media_ in the YouTube comments, all of that. Make sure you're following the Shift on Twitter. Everything as far as social media goes for the Shift, we'll have that in the description box. So all of that's there, and I'll talk to you guys soon.